Farhad Vladi. I was born in Germany and I'm selling privately owned islands, and since 10 years we added the business of renting out islands as well, and this is a very, very interesting business. When I was young I read a lot of books. Books with islands interested me very much, and I thought then at one time when I was 1900 in Munich, and I had a dinner appointment with a gentleman in a Russian restaurant, and I arrived there but he didn't, and I was sitting there waiting, and then he came late, but on the chair there was a newspaper, and the newspaper I opened that, wanted to read it until one friend comes, and I see an article about a young man who bought an island for 5,000 Deutschmarks, which is 2,500 euros. Oh, and then I was so fascinated by this article. I said, look, 2,500 euros, one island, I have to go, I have to do that. And it took me this article caused that for 2 years I couldn't find the man who was mentioned in this newspaper article. But then I noticed later with my experience I have looking back, yes, in Indonesia, for example, in many other countries, you could buy a leasehold island, which means you don't own it, the government owns it, but you have it for 99 years for 2,500 euros. That could have been possible, and I think that is what this article was about a leasehold island, but they say he owns the island. If I want to sell like a camera or so, I go to my newspaper, I pay 100 Deutschmarks at that time, and they do a little advertisement, and then I can find buyers. So I put 100 Deutschmarks, which was for me a lot of money, in an envelope, sent it to that newspaper, to the Seychelles, and asked them to put a little ad there saying, Mr. Vladi from Hamburg, Germany, is looking for an island in the Seychelles. If anyone has something for sale, please call me. I got perhaps months later, or I don't know how, a sample paper back. And 100 Deutschmarks was so much in this country that instead of a small ad, I got the full page. There was a big full page, Mr. Vladi from Hamburg, looks for an island. I was shocked when I saw that. I showed that to my mother, and we were laughing so much. And the lawyer, who just finished university, James Mention is his name, has sent me the information and said, if you're interested. And long story short, I looked at the island. I loved the island. It's beautiful. I went back to Germany and knew I can't afford it. I didn't want to throw everything away, so and send it to people in my city here, where I thought they're rich. I said, I have this island for sale. Should you be interested? I've been there. I can tell you it's beautiful, and it's $1 million Deutschmarks, I can't afford it, but if you can, I would be happy to earn a commission and so on. And then a gentleman, he asked me to come, and he wanted to speak to me and about the island. And I earned like 36,000 Deutschmarks. That was so much money. I went with this money, oh my God, nobody could believe it. I said, this is good business. Yeah, that's the island. The first island I ever sold in my life. I lived myself. I didn't care what car, I didn't care where I live, small apartment, doesn't matter. Everything I made I put back in the company for 10 years. Then I got a lot of interest, and the second 10 years I organized myself to run after clients, and I only organized that and then in the third 10 years it works hand in hand, and that was then very successful. And then I started to buy my own island. I bought an island in New Zealand 20 years ago, but I will be every year. I'm 6 weeks on that island, or 4 weeks. The island is quality of life. That is what you get for your money, but not money. Money doesn't make money, money makes quality of life. And then we have now sold 2,000 islands and more. Every year I can say the sale is important, it's there, but renting is really coming up more and more and more and more. people, the very rich people, are more renters than buyers. Like men like Bill Gates, say not the very rich, they have a security problem. To be honest, I must say I had luck. I had a market which was undiscovered. I had patience. That was very important. Patience. Don't hurry. Patience. And at the end, I was then successful. But I would say, without the patience and without luck and good fortune, I wouldn't have done it. So it is. Then, of course, you have to be organized in your way and know what you're doing. And that altogether is very important. Okay, I have a family. My dream definitely is that we are all very happy, and I hope for my children that they are as satisfied with what they achieve. And I was frightened a lot, but never give up and fight, and I hope my children, they understand that. And the life is not only one street ups, it goes up and down, and you have just to make sure that you go, the trend is right, the trend must be right. If I feel happy in the morning, it's not important what's on your bank account. My clients, some of my clients, I see that I'm sure their bank account is very positive, and they read and they're every morning happy to look at the bank account, so to say, but otherwise they're extremely unhappy. They have a wife, the marriage doesn't work, children are not respecting, and I've seen that many times, unfortunately. And then I think it is easy to say it is better to be poor and happy than to be rich and unhappy. And I think both is wrong. There is a middle way. You have to have enough to survive, and perhaps for you and your family, and if you're fortunate, you have also a little bit for the following generation. But you should never sacrifice your happiness because of money. If you dream about an island, if you dreamt about an island, I have the dream island for you. Just call me. 500 years ago, it was a shipwreck and you had to go to an island. Today, you call through internet or the telephone, cellular, and call Mr. Vladi, give us the perfect island. That's my advice.